Spanish Grand Prix qualifying, let's get straight into it. Qualifying 1 started off well. We had all 3 purple sectors and a almost 6/10 gap to Carlos Sainz in 2nd place. Hamilton was 4th, Charles was 5th, and Verstappen was not in the top 10 at all. Skipped to the end of the session and we were still 1st, however Carlos Sainz closed in to smack bang on a quarter of a second gap, rounded to 3 decimal places. Our rivals, expected, still not rivals in the championship yet. Charles was 5th, Max was 6th, and Lewis was 9th place. Their teammates, Sainz 2nd and Perez 13th. And obviously, I'm the teammate of Lewis. And Alonso in 15th place. Kind of feel like I have to mention him. And Ocon, because Alonso's still up there in the championship. Qualifying 2 started out a little bit worse than Q1, because Verstappen was 2nd place, 4 tenths behind us. However, we had gained 2 tenths to Sainz, and we had all 3 purple sectors. We did gain 2 tenths on our own personal lap time, going from a 19.4 to a 19.2. And anyway, our championship rivals, Max P2, Lewis P10, Charles in the bottom 5, same with Alonso and their teammates, Sainz P3 and Perez P5. Skipping over to the end of qualifying 2, Verstappen maintained his distant gap to me. He did not improve on his lap time. Charles improved to P3, Lewis improved to P6, and Alonso improved to P10. The respective teammates, obviously Alonso's Ocon was out in Q1. Perez now gets out in Q2, P12, and Sainz finishes P9, getting through to Q3. Speaking of, we improved our lap time by a further 3 tenths, going to an 18.9. Of course, maintaining all 3 purple sectors. This meant we had a 7/10 gap to Fernando in 2nd place. Hamilton was in 4th place, 1.2 seconds behind us. Verstappen in 6th place, 1.4 seconds behind us. And the 2 Ferrari lads in P8 and P9, Sainz ahead of Leclerc, 1.7 and 1.9 seconds ahead of us. Behind us, sorry. End the session, and we still maintained pole. We still had pole. Verstappen going 4 tenths behind us, gaining 1 whole second. Second place. Hamilton P7, dropping down a lot of positions, and Leclerc improving to P6, and Alonso in P4. Respective teammates, Sainz in P3. So it's a little bit mixed up. We got 2 of the rivals at the top, Alonso towards the middle, Charles pretty much smack bang middle, and then Lewis opposite of the middle to Alonso. So we should be able to bounce back from Miami against Hamilton and Alonso. Not so much with Verstappen, but Verstappen's still a little bit lower in the championship. So let's go and win the Grand Prix with the fastest lap.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you join us here at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya, as we proceed through to race day to see just who will claim victory at the Spanish Grand Prix. The Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya, a track that will certainly force the drivers to push themselves. It consists of a very impressive main straight going into turn 1. It's a straight that also offers a DRS zone, so it's likely to be a hotspot for overtakes. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. What a qualifying yesterday for George Russell. He'll start today's race from pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Sainz, Fernando Alonso, Alex Albon and Leclerc, Hamilton, Bottas, Norris and Sebastian Vettel, Mick Schumacher, Perez, Guan Yu Zhou and Stroll, Tsunoda, Magnussen, Pierre Gasly and Daniel Ricciardo, Ocon and Nicholas Latifi. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today? And a warm welcome, of course, to my co-commentator here today. It's Natalie Pinkham. Should we kick off our conversation with George Russell?
Well, it was a really impressive lap in qualifying to get pole position, but are they going to be able to hold on to the lead into the first corner with so many quick starters around them? A couple of favourites for the win today then, but who comes out on top doesn't really matter as long as they give us an entertaining show en route to the checkered flag. And we want to see fair fighting, of course, out there on track, so let's hope the stewards don't have to get involved too much today.
Sorry, Natalie, we'd rather not have a interesting battle for the lead. Let's have a look at the other tyres for the other drivers. Softs and mediums. Mediums from Sainz only. You know what? I think I'm going to do the same. However, let's see what the softs, mediums do first. See if we can match Verstappen's strategy. And so we can just pull away from him the entire race. Let's have a gander at medium hards. Quite a good strategy, looks like, at the moment. However, we will have to compare it to the double medium soft. And it is 2 seconds slower. It's not actually too bad. Let's try soft hard. 1 second slower than that medium hard. Let's go mediums and hards. Yep, lap 28. I believe that said. I can't quite see. My phone's quite small, you know. Phones are that way. Let's try going a medium soft medium, because medium hards was quicker than the medium softs. So if the tyre wear on the mediums is quite poor, we can just change to the medium hards instead of soft hards because it's quicker. Lap 25 it looked like. Why were we setting this? Just having a look. Only marginally quicker. Not too bad. Let's go back to medium hards, shall we? Yeah, lap 28. 25 laps on the mediums. For 16 on the softs. And then 25 on the second set of mediums. Takes us to 66 laps. Looks good to me. Take out enough fuel. Let's go to the race and win it.
Hello. Oh, there's my mic. Hello and welcome to the Spanish Grand Prix. 66 laps of testing basically, because we already know this circuit. So let's see how we do. We start on mediums. Only other person to do so as well is Sainz, everyone else on softs. So keep that in mind for the start. Get ready for 5 red lights. And it's lights out and away we go. You get a poor start, Max gets a much better start than us. That has nothing to do with the tyres. Alonso does not put alongside us, which was nice. Heading into turn 1 could focus on staying with Max. Everyone else looking fairly clean at the moment. One Alpine up here in P3, the other one down in P20. That's pretty much it. That's lap 1 for you. Lights out, a little bit of wheel spin, but it's fine. Pulled away. It could have been a better pull away, but it's fine. Max I don't know what he was doing there, but had a little flip of the wheel and corrected a non-mistake, it looked like. Anyway, we did get really close on lap 3. He had to look towards the inside, force him towards the inside. He did go a little bit deep, but it wasn't quite enough to make a switch back. This camera angle did not show you that. But yeah, we did have a look. No look on lap 2. But yeah, we just look towards the inside, move over to the outside, don't actually make an overtake, just wanted to see what he would do. Went a little bit wide, not enough gap for a switch back though, and so we had to wait. And so that's kind of what made this lap a slow lap. And I think we tried heading to turn 10. Yeah, we were never close enough into turn 10. Lap 4. Almost forgot we made a mistake in sector 3. This is what made it an actual slow lap. So, just staying with DRS, trying to follow the rule I made myself after Miami yesterday. Or for you guys 2 or 3 days ago, I don't know the schedule at this point. Trying to follow the rule that if I'm within DRS, lift off 50 meters before and brake at a normal point. And if they have damage, lift off 100 meters before. 50 meters before and brake 25 meters early. So, because Max has no damage, no, I didn't check, but like he's been in my sights the entire race. There's no damage for him. So if I had DRS, which I do, lift off 50 meters early, but brake at the normal point. That way I didn't career into the back of him. And it worked. Although we kind of had to avoid that strat in the sector 3, as you can see. Really wobbly, going over the curb, and then just applying too much throttle, almost ended our race. But that's what caused a slow lap, and while we had to wait till lap 5 for another attempt at an overtake. This time we tried down the inside, wanted to see what he'd do, and he just carried more speed. So we knew that if we were going to make an overtake, we'd have to go around the outside. It's a long race. It's not like we're having to go through the entire field. We don't need to rush these overtakes. We can just take our time with it. Yeah, down the inside. Never brake late enough to outbrake Max. Almost go into the back of him, but that was because of Max doing what he did on lap 4 and lap 3 when I went around his outside. So we just need to unsettle Max, make sure that we leave enough space when we do, and just cleanly overtake. This lap was another slow lap. Yeah, I just braked quite early in sector 3 everywhere. You won't be able to see it from the off-boards. But yeah, you can hear the lift off there. Really close to him. But, I mean, I tried to stupidly lift off through these corners as well. You can hear. But there's no brake markers, so I can't actually brake 50. I can't do the 50 meters thing. And just climbing all over the curbs. Set us back a couple of tenths. And so we had to wait. Till lap 7. Now, almost closer to Alonso mainly there, Max. Get away from 666. Lap 7. Nothing doing there. Lap 8. We were within DRS once again. we always have been. Around the outside, made sure that we brake late enough, save DRS, and deploy all of it. Not all 80% of it, but enough of it that we get down the outside. And a nice overtake puts us up into P1. So again, forcing him to the inside a lot earlier this time so that I can go around the outside, onto the racing line, brake, give him plenty of space in case he does a little wobble, and we've got ourselves up into P1. Much easier than Miami. Because, no, I'm just going to leave that alone. That was a joke by itself, it doesn't need to be further explained. And then we just spent the next couple of laps getting out of DRS, and we were out of it by lap 10. One full lap, and we were out of it, which is nice to see. And we literally had no trouble. Lap 13, I believe. Yeah, Max came into the box. So we had clean air. Me and Science, the only mediums on us at the moment. Obviously, Schumacher, Perez, and Joe left. Magnussen, Stroll, Ricciardo, Tsunoda, Gasly, and Ocon yet to pit from their softs. Some of which they're doing now. All of it were done by lap 17. Yeah, just making sure Gasly came in. And then Carlos came in on lap 22. Yes, I know it says 23, but the lap he entered the pit lane was 22. And then we came in on lap 25 for the 2-stop. Mediums to softs. I did originally plan medium, soft. Medium, soft, medium. But thought, you know what? Why can't we just go for the medium, for the softs at the end? Strategy would work. I want to get a faster lap at the end. So I did set mediums, and no problems. Got a pit stop gap over Max, 25 seconds at the moment. It is slightly coming down with his newer mediums, obviously. 13 laps newer, to be exact. Came into pit lane, no speeding, purple turn in, engaged clutch, okay stop. A little bit slow on the release, but I always have been. It's kind of usual by now. So Max should be coming down the main straight any second now. Yep, he is. And a little bit of weaving to get the tyre temperatures. And that 25 seconds gap comes all the way down to 3 seconds, 2.5 to 2 seconds. But I will do it from the apex. So roughly 22-second pit stop. Obviously, if you include the tyre one as well, that is going to be about 23, 24. Yep, 24. Lowest it goes, 1.3. Okay. I just want to check. Lowest was 1.2, but it don't matter. 22 technically a 23-second pit stop, 23.5, and we're into the lead, so it don't matter. And then we just pulled away ever so slightly. Max came in lap 35 and so it put Sainz back into second place. Or not quite. Yes, it does. Okay, I didn't notice that. I didn't realise that. I wasn't paying attention to anyone else's race. Lap 38 was a slow lap. Why was it slow? Yep, what I thought. Not visible. Well, with the fuel that we put in, I didn't really pay attention in practice. It was between 0.01 and 0.02 fuel saved per lap. So I either should have done, to be honest, I should have done 0.85 per lap for the race, which would have been 65.01 laps of fuel, instead of the 64.68 laps of fuel we did have. I mean, it's not like we didn't have the time to. We obviously did, although Max is now within the pit stop gap after passing Sainz. So yeah, we were low target. We were using more fuel than I had hoped, so we were lifting off, closing in on Ricardo to lap him. Don't know what he's doing down here. Really poor race from him. But yeah, we just lifted off a lot on this lap, hence why it's a slow lap. But we head over to, well, lap 51, 20 seconds behind. At the moment, we are projected to come out 3.5 seconds behind Max. Yeah, by the end of sector 1. I mean, no biggie. We've got the soft tyres next. He has 15 laps on those mediums, and the mediums are slower than the softs anyway, so the fact that he's got worn mediums versus new softs is going to be so much quicker than him that we almost don't have to worry about it, which I don't worry about it at all. And I'm not doing that sarcastically. I know I say stuff a lot. I say a lot of sarcastic stuff in a normal tone of voice, but yeah, that weren't sarcastic. We were fine. We come into the pit lane then, braking again, no speeding, a purple turn in. How's the pit stop this time? Looks like a better pit stop, a little bit better of a release, and we're out into the fast lane again. Where's Max then? He's just gone past the pit lane entry, and 4 seconds quickly becomes half a tenth, and by turn 1 it is a 2.1 second gap, and it is slightly going up obviously with the colder tyres, and he did bring that gap to 19 seconds I think just before we pit. So 2.8. It does not fit the strap. Oh. We're a little bit quicker this time. Only roughly 22 seconds in the lost. So not always the same, but I think we had a little bit of a quicker stop and we also had a quicker release. So there's that. We also broke later for the pit lane entry, and we had much more throttle coming out of the pit lane. So overall we were just a little bit quicker. Speaking of being a bit quicker, we're a lot quicker than Max, and so we'd easily catch up to him. However, first we have to go to lap 53 for Mick Schumacher. At the moment in P10, doing a good job in his Haas. Alexander Albon doing a good job in Williams as well. I kind of do need to ignore the teams because the teams have no effect on performance except for strategy and pit stops, but even then the game simulates the same strategy for everyone. And as you just see, another simulation by the game, Mick's engine blows up just at the end of Sector 1, and he retires from Grand Prix. I can't. There it is. I was about to say I couldn't see when his car went ghosty. Ghost. I don't. What's it? It's not opaque. Translucent? I'm actually going to search it up. I can't. My Wi-Fi isn't on my laptop. I can't be able to search up. I know I said the other episode 79, that I couldn't be bothered to block out Canada and Britain. But I was bothered and I did block it out. But this time I really can't be bothered to just turn on my laptop's Wi-Fi just to find out if translucent is the correct word. You can roast me in the comments. I don't really care at all. Lap 55. We were finally close enough to Max that we decided to feint him to the middle, to the inside. We go around the outside, not quite making an overtake, just testing the waters again. We don't need to rush. We have plenty of time. You will have noticed that in the last couple of races where I have had to overtake someone, I haven't quite used my strategy. Go towards the middle of the circuit and then force them inside or outside. Mainly because that's best for defending. It's not so easy to do that when you're overtaken, because the car ahead determines where you go. It's not really up to you. You either have two options: you go left of them or you go right of them. And sometimes, if they choose the right side, there is no second option. There's only one option. But at the moment, Max is giving me two. Although Latifi here, as you can see, not really giving me much either. So soon we'll have to get past Max, because otherwise Latifi will get in the way and he'll just block us for about half a lap, which is not what we want. So lap 56, we tried again towards the inside. Did it a lot earlier this time around the outside, and with plenty of EOS we were up into P1, and with a little self-commentary in the cockpit saying speed. Top Gear, by the way. Yeah, we were a lot closer this time, and we just did it a lot earlier. Around the outside, much easier than lap 7 as well, lap 8 as well. And 48 laps later, we're back into P1 with a similar overtake. And just in the nick of time as well, because I believe this lap is the next lap. We'll have to see. Yep, this lap. Latifi lets us go. How kind of him. Now, he has let both of us go, and I know we probably lost some time in the overtake, but I doubt, if that was normal, I doubt I would have been able to lap Latifi as well as Max. But I doubt Latifi would have let both of us lap him. He definitely would have let Max lap him, but I doubt he would have let me lap him, because the space shrinks quite rapidly. Max goes, and then this is roughly the gap we have. It's quite a small gap, and Latifi, well, AI are prone to dive bombing you into the next corner once you've just lapped them. So. But it's fine. We made the overtake and we were first to lap Latifi. Next up was Daniel Ricciardo, but he was fine. It's not like we had to. I don't know what I'm trying to say. We didn't need to worry about Ricciardo getting in the way, because we've already overtook Max. So that pretty much ends it. There's Ricardo. We already had a 2-second gap by 2 laps. We were so much quicker on these softs. We did get a helping hand of DRS from Ricardo. I was just going to say, because the DRS light didn't come up then. I can't remember, did we get the fast lap? We might have. No. I think we got that lap 56. Yeah, because the Delta ain't changing. Yeah. Lap 50. Lap 57 we got it. Yeah, lap 56 we had the overtake, so it wouldn't have been that. How much time did we lose? Because we gained time. Yeah, so we didn't even lose time in that overtake, so it would have been a bit risky with Latifi. Anyway, on to the other man, to the other house, and ill fates fall upon both of them as his engine goes up in smoke as well, and Magnussen has to retire from the Grand Prix just 3 laps from home. Pulls over to the side at turn 2 and is out of the Spanish Grand Prix. This time I quote unquote obeyed yellow flags and lifted off. I don't have to lift off, but I do, as I've already said. Makes it more realistic. Although I didn't when we went past Schumacher, because I was trying to stay with Max. And my reasoning there is because Max didn't lift off, because AI don't, because Max didn't lift off, I didn't have to lift off. And I need to work with the FIA a lot. Alonso's penalty in Saudi Arabia got that the 10-second penalty got revoked because other teams had done exactly what Aston did, which was the rear jack touched the car. FIA did not like that, but Aston Martin were able to point out that many other teams have done it before and didn't get penalised. So, yeah. I know I'm using a penalty that happened ages ago, but it still works. It's still relevant. What was I even talking about? Why was I talking about that? Oh, I've just lost my train of thought. I know we're on the final lap. I'm just going to let it play out. Why was I talking about Alonso's penalty? Oh, yeah, yellow flags. That's why. Yeah. And how, because other drivers aren't getting penalised. Like, none of the AI lift off, so all of them would have been given penalty. And because all of them would have been given a penalty, literally, there's no point to give them a penalty because it would change nothing. So we come across the line to win the Grand Prix. I don't know why that time stays the exact same every time you're at Spain. Max's AI does hit us at the end there. But it doesn't matter. We won the race. That's all that we can ask for. Much better, much cleaner racing from us than last season. And that's how you bounce back from Miami. We've got quite a lead in the championship now. We're on 124 points, and I think Fernando, who's still second in the championship, is I want to say on 64 points. There's no point checking it because it's about to come in on screen in the race debrief. So, stop playing with my wheel. So, yeah, that's it. I was talking to myself when I said stop playing with my wheel. I keep kicking it with my foot and playing with the screw that tightens the wheel to the base. At the base to the chair. Anyway, I'm rambling on. I don't need to. 27 minutes. Could have been over 7 minutes ago at least. But, okay. Especially when we've only got 4 things to talk about. But, it's nice. It's a nice race. Really enjoyed it actually. Despite the fact that we were only 5 seconds ahead of Max, really enjoyed it. If we were on the same strategy, I think we would have been well clear. So, maybe we should have gone with the same strategy as Max. I just wanted the option to do a one stop if the tyre wear was a little bit harsh. And if we started softs, we would have had to have done a soft hard one stop. And that's not nice. We were well clear of Science though, who started the same strategy. The only difference was he finished hards. I don't know why. He pit lap 58. I don't know why he didn't finish soft. Anyway, that's it. I'll see you for the race debrief. Good morning debrief of the Spanish Grand Prix. In attendance we have the driver, Bobbi Winter, the engineer, Mike Priestley, the team principal, Terry Wolf, and the head of strategy, Rosie Waite. And if we have no problems, we can just get underway with the race debrief and start with the race result. The race result was Bobbi in first place, followed by Lewis in third place, and Max to finish out the podium in second place. The other championship rival, Charles Leclerc, finished the race in P5. Kind of have to say Alonso is he's still up there in the championship, P4, and the respective teammates was Sainz in P8, Perez in P10, and Esteban Ocon in P15. So, the one issue with the race result was that we were very close to Max in second place. Only 5 to 6 seconds ahead of Max. 2 penalties, and that would have been a demotion to second place. However, if I am correct, we got no warnings at all in the entire race. Therefore, we did win the race, and we did it quite comfortably, with the fastest as well being almost a second, between half a second and a second quicker than most other drivers. On to the championships then. What does that do in the Drivers' Championship? Well, it means Max Verstappen moves into third place ahead of Carlos Sainz and Hamilton. However, with Alonso's poor result down in P4, we gain 14 points on him, and so we have the target gap to second place. And Charles is 3 victories away from P1, so we could probably quite comfortably say that he is outside the championship fight now. However, we won't say anything until we get to the summer break. Then we can have a look at it all
and then we can refocus our objectives and who we consider to be rivals. Of our rivals, Max is in P3, Charles is P6, and Lewis is P5, and then Alonso being the outlier in P2. The teammates of the respective rivals is Carlos Sainz in P4, another outlier, Perez in P11, and seeing as Alonso is up there, we'll say Esteban Ocon as well is in P8. It's looking good for the Constructors' Championship as well, so let's have a look at that and see how the race result has affected us in that department. And we are first place at the moment, with our rivals of Ferrari in second place and Red Bull in fourth place, with the outlier of Alpine still running high in third place. So, Ferrari jump up into second place ahead of Alpine. However, we are almost 2 victories ahead of Ferrari, and Alpine are still ahead of Red Bull. So, it's looking good in Constructors as well. Just a couple more good results from Lewis and Bobbi will confirm that we are looking good in the championship, and so another couple of good results will mean that we don't have to worry about poor results, and we can just go into every race with the confidence that we can come out of that race leading the championship. Obviously we can do that at the moment, however we don't want to get cocky and do that almost every race to the point that we make mistakes every race, and so we are then behind in the championship. We don't want to do that. We could probably, like I said, we can do that around the summer break. However, as we are not there yet, we cannot think about that yet. We've got to focus on the present at the moment. And focus on the present we will do by moving on to the race lap graph. So, 66 laps around Spain with two mediums stints and a soft stint to finish the race. As you can see, we slowly got quicker across the entire race, even on the pit laps. So, we had a yellow in each of the stints. The first yellow obviously being stuck behind Max. Quite surprising that even on our overtake with Max we do not get a yellow. However, as you can see, it is very close to being a yellow. In the second stint, as you can see, the yellow is only just above the greens that surround it, and so we just had a slow lap, just going a little bit slow in sector 3. It'd be nice if you could, it'd be nice if you could cut those little mistakes out. I know they're not mistakes, but in terms of a race pace and consistency with the tyres and fuel loads, it'd be nicer if you could keep them all within the target allotted time. It is a 2-second window, so a little bit surprised how you can keep within that. But obviously, smack bang in the middle is where the target time originally comes from. So in a way, you do only have a second to fit within, but you should be able to do that. Especially at this stage of your career in Championship 79, only 3 tiers away from Formula 3. Obviously, Championship at 89, then Championship 94, and then Formula 3. Pretty much a flat line in each. The other yellow in the third stint. It was lap 55, and I think we were a little bit close to Max at that point, so Probably the dirty air from Max didn't quite help us in that department. However, again, it's only just above the greens, so we can assume that it was maybe a little bit slow in sector 3. So maybe if you could be a little bit quicker. I know you might have been following Max at that point. However, again, consistency. It'd be nice if you could keep within 1 second, even behind another driver. Pretty much flat line in the soft stint, no. However, that was really good. I do have to commend you on that one. And in the other 2 stints, they were very close to flat lines as well, despite being longer stints and on slower tyres and heavier fuel load. So that's really good. Well done. Onto the 8 images that represent the Spanish Grand Prix then. Bobbi, you came in with the race result for both of your images. Mark, you came in with the image of Bobbi trying to re-overtake Max and the Drivers' Championship. Toto, you came in with the qualifying 3 result and the race result as well as Bobbi. And Rosie, you came in with the image of Max passing us when we made our second pit stop, and the image of passing Max after we made that second pit stop onto the soft tyres. So let's get straight into it with Bobbi's images. So Bobbi, you came in with both of the both images were the same image, the race result. However, they both looked a little bit more in depth into those images, into those screenshots. The first one, the bad one, was that Max was very close to us at the end of the race, and like I've said, Max was under 6 seconds behind us as we crossed the line to finish the Grand Prix. We get 2 penalties from track limits, and we're done for, and we finished second in the race. However, you did a solid race, and you won the race with the fastest lap, and by quite the margin, I believe. I want to say about 5 tenths, but it's between 5 tenths and a second, so that's a really good job on the soft tyres. We will get into the strategy later, but a lot of that did come from the strategy. However, you were able to put that strategy into practice, and you were able to build the margin that we were expecting. So really good job from you, and if you can keep this up throughout the rest of the season, as I've been saying in previous debriefs, then we are looking good for the championship. We already are looking good for the championship, but we don't want to get too cocky, of course. On to Mark's images then, and you had these 2 images, of course. Multiple attempts at re-overtaking Max and massive gain in the Drivers' Championship. So obviously lap 1, turn 1, we got overtaken by Max. A little bit poor start on the mediums. We have to try and figure out what is causing that. We have pinpointed that it is the throttle. However, we want to pinpoint what the issue is with the throttle. We are still unable to find a fix for it. However, it could have been just Max on his soft tyres versus us on medium tyres. Either way, we were able to get past Max anyway at the beginning and at the end of the race. And so in the Drivers' Championship, like I said, we gained 14 points on Alonso. And with Max only just now jumping into 3rd place, we are looking good against Max. Not much what to say about these 2 images. So on to your images then, Toto, and Lewis in Q3 is what your image was focusing on. Lewis had a poor qualifying 3. However, Lewis came back from that and made it a double podium in the race. So yes, even though this is mainly a debrief focusing on Bobbi, we do have to talk about Lewis as well. This is a team effort. We are trying to win the Team Constructors Championship as well. So Lewis had a poor qualifying 3, yes. I'm not quite sure what happened there. He is 3 tenths away from Max in second place. So if we can pinpoint that error and point it out to him, I'm sure he'll take it on board and try and improve. However, it seemed that he found the error himself and put that to good use, because in the race he came all the way to third place, finishing 26 seconds behind us and finishing about 21 seconds ahead of where he started, Valtteri Bottas in 7th place. So the fact that he came back for a double podium, really good job from Lewis there, and really helped us in the constructors against Ferrari, who have now just taken second place, with their respective drivers finishing only in 5th and 8th place, Charles and Sainz respectively. Last but not least, we have the head of strategy, Rosie, with your images, and the later second pit stop put us behind Max, was your subtitle for the first image. Yes, we pit on lap 52 from our mediums onto the softs. It did put us behind Max, however, unfortunately. However, we trusted the strategy, and we knew that the stronger tyres at the end of the race would be better, and so we did not have to worry about pitting later, because obviously we had the faster tyres, and we knew that we would be able to close the gap always. Then obviously, following on from that point, the softs in the third stint made the overtake on Max very easy, and it was very easy indeed. A simple DRS pass down the main straight, round the outside, heading into turn 1, and good job on getting that pass done, because as you can see in the image, Latifi was ahead of us, and where Latifi let you lap him, we could have lost a lot of time to Max when Max lapped him too. Max could have lapped him at the same place, and maybe Latifi, if he wasn't kind enough, might have fell in line immediately behind Max and took the racing line, and so we could have lost a couple of attempts, and those couple of attempts could have put us out of DRS range. I know we finished 6 seconds ahead of Max, but we would have worn the tyres out again. We might have had another yellow lap time, and so it's all about the minute details. However, you thought about that, Bobby, and you were able to use the tyres to your advantage, thanks to our strategy team, and yeah, you got past Max with relative ease, and you won the Grand Prix. So we do not have to worry about that at all today. And that's it. So thank you for listening to the Monday morning review of the Spanish Grand Prix. We'll be here again in a short while for the Monaco Grand Prix. It's not your strongest circuit, Bobby, so we do expect a poor result. So we have changed our expectations heading into that one. However, you were really good last season, so we are willing to change our expectations after practice and qualifying. So that is all. I'll say goodbye, and I'll see you all in Monaco. Right, no more me talking again. And yeah, several times I've mentioned my pedal. In real life, it is actually broken. I broke it when I was doing the intermediate AI test at the beginning of this Project Ultimate series. So it's been broken for a year and a bit now. I've gotten used to it. It's no big problem. There is a little bit of discrepancy in the starts and a little bit in the traction zones, and so in the wet. However, it's not too bad. As you could see, we were able to get past Max.
Monaco then. This should be going out on Thursday, and so Monaco should be out on Saturday. So yeah, hopefully we don't get another Miami at Monaco. However, I have done Monaco. In fact, I've done Monaco, Azerbaijan, Canada, and Britain. So I've done the next 5 races. And I was going to say by the time this one comes out, I've done another 2. But no, I won't. I'll still have done only the next 4 races after Monaco. So, yeah, I'll see you in Monaco. Hope you have a good rest of your day. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.